Andes Komeji and his boys, his partners in crime. I wanted to do a little tribute to the visual novel Tuesday. As some of you may or may not know, myself, Sis16, and Snack Attack 8 all just got through the second games in their respective VNs that they're playing through. Now for me, it's the end of the line. Or is it? There have been mullings, there's been stuff going on in the realm of Uchikoshi land that has people thinking. People are thinking the third game might be on the way. It could be real. And I personally hope it is. I would love to see a third game. And honestly, that felt like sequel bait at the end. Not necessarily for like a specific plot line, but just for like the world still being like mysterious. They all have somewhat of an energy together. We all latched on to a guy. But, hey. We should get started. Maybe I do need a Sis 16 Mo. You don't have to, but Sis 16 Mo would go pretty hard. The first audio emote. Yeah, I don't know. It just felt like a fun little send-off to the block. I had no other ideas for what to do for this. Tier list. We're here. I'm gonna add a row above. And just call this the top 6. But the top 6 is part of this. It's just a way of separating it visually for the game. There's no such thing as SS. But there is such a thing as a packed S tier. Which I am a strong supporter of. Mostly because the way I think of S is just that, like, they did everything perfectly for me. Which can be multiple characters sometimes. Who ranked all of her friends in SSS except for Ota and B. Do I think there's an F? Maybe. But first we gotta talk about the game. Before we do anything, I want to talk about the game. Is that fair? I would like to talk about the game. With some musical accompaniment. Because I got thoughts. Let me get the... I don't know what you'd call it. The fluff out of the way first. The non-plot stuff. The non-plot character stuff. I think gameplay-wise, this one was a huge step up from the first one. Gameplay-wise. Definitely just like a pure 100% step up. I think it improved on all the ideas. And the Somniums felt fully realized as a mechanic. I like how they all had different gimmicks going on. Sometimes different gameplay styles. Which I think was huge. I liked that a lot. And it feels like they finally really hit that, like... Well, I mean, the first game... They hit the dreamlike vibe all the way through. But in terms of, like, the stuff you could do in this game... Yes. I was going to say... They needed to be a little more lenient if they were going to be as ambitious as they were in this one, because I felt constrained by the time too often. Not in like a difficulty way, but in just a like, oh, I really got to stay on the rails. Which is too bad. That could be improved. But otherwise... massive. I liked the VR investigations conceptually. They were good to have. I wish they were less handholdy. I think that could have been a little cooler without that. They felt a little like, you got the piece of evidence. This is what it means. Put it all together. Instead of like giving you something and like making you piece it together. That could have been cooler. But it was a nice addition. I like the idea. I also really like the soundtrack in this game. I noticed that the Somnium themes in this one were very like otherworldly. They really nailed the aesthetic, I think. Leon's theme does. That's an amazing one. The Chikara one is really good. I like the Kizzy one. I love the Shoma one. And the Komeji one. And I liked the Terror one. They all had really good themes. Really good songs. In terms of the vocal theme versus the one from the first game, Half the Whole versus Invincible Rainbow Arrow, you gotta pit them against each other. It's a matchup. Well, now they're both amazing. But I think the first game, at least for the finale, came together a little better. But honestly, I liked the grand finale in this one because there was actually like a story happening. Now, was it the same story we've seen 4 times of Leon and Kizune getting hitched? Yes. But it was nice to see it like animated and see all of see the Goyles like and all the silly background stuff happening. So this one wasn't a miss. The song Half the Whole's been stuck in my head all week. Possibly regrettably. Possibly not regrettably. I've been walking down the hall at work going, hoping that no one is in the vicinity that would know what that song is. This is a theme of a nice... I got songs from both games in here. But now we can get to the controversial stuff, and that is the plot and the characters. And where do I land on the plot? I know we went up and down throughout it, or I implied that I was going up and down throughout it. I am of the belief that... So hear me out. The timeline twist was incredible and blew my mind, and I loved it. But I think everything else suffered for it. Which is a shame. Versus the first game, where the twist brings it all together. And I think it was a lot more satisfying from start to finish. Yeah. Here's what happens. The twist, the timeline thing happens. Here's the other thing, okay? It is purely meta. It has nothing to do with the actual plot. That was for the player only. And so it doesn't affect anything that's going on in the game. And so it really doesn't affect the climax at all. And I don't think... I mean, like, once it's on the table, everything makes sense as long as you, like, look it over. And there's nothing left to really solve. Because Terror was obviously dead, so you know someone else did it. And I think it was pretty easy at that point to figure out that Amame did it. I don't think that was even that big of a reveal. It did not feel very, like, impactful to be like, Amame did it. Because you see it and you're like, well, who else would have wanted to do this? The motive is so obvious. Who would have wanted to get Tokiko and... yeah, there is a rising dread for her thing. But it was kind of clear. I think. Like, once you have all that, it's like, okay. And the other thing, and this is going to come into play, we're going to talk about this more on the tier list. It hurts both of the protagonists, I think. The way the story was told hurt them both a lot. Which makes me sad. Because they didn't have, like... They didn't get to spread their wings, kinda. Because they were restricted by a meta twist. And by the time that twist is revealed, they don't really do anything. But we'll talk about that on the list. We'll talk about... No. That doesn't mean they placed badly, does it? It might not. Question. What's the question? I think, though... would have worked better if it was the masked woman instead of Ryuji. If what was? Oh, if the other protag just was masked woman? No. I think you needed Ryuki. Masked woman kind of fits in differently because you play as her too. You play as her for half the game. You don't know you're playing as her. But half of the Mizuki stuff is her. Which, again, I think hurts Mizuki a little. Yeah. What else about the plot? I was very invested in the mechanics of the case. I think the whimsy of it was it really absorbed me more than the whimsy of what was going on in the first game, because there wasn't much of it. In the first game, it's kind of the reverse of the first game, where the first game you're chasing nothing for so long. It seems like just like the killer's just getting away, kind of. And then you find out, oh, this is the mechanic. This is crazy, actually. And it's like junk food at that point. In this one, you're chasing that junk food feel. The reveal happens. And then the falling action is just like really flat, I think. Yes, all the big players are gone by the end. The conflict at the end, which, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't change that final battle for anything. Except maybe Terror be a real present person and not a recording. No, there was no character around or any presence to make it feel threatening. Yeah, you never get that satisfaction. Because they're gone. They're already gone. So that's lame. But now that we have that new ending, it's Tokiko kind of just seems like she had it all planned. I think that's pretty raw. She won kind of, right? Like that's what just happened. Tokiko won this whole thing. In her own twisted way. So that's cool. What else about the plot? What else about the plot? I also think this can go into the conversation on the tier list, but better villain in the first game. Timelines do exist. Yes, the world is. Yeah. Like, I have to wonder. I hope there was a third game. I really do. I just want to play another one of these. And I have a wish list for the next game that I'll talk about as I go through the tier list, because it's very relevant. I think we can hop in and talk about the rest while we talk about the characters. So to start, let's pad out the bottom, because here's the thing about this list, guys. I know I've been hyping it up, or on-hyping it, or whatever you want to call it. I do have up through A totally figured out. I'm very confident through top of A. It's only once we get to the top that it gets... Ugh. Yeah, that's fair. It does sometimes just feel like stuff just happens to the characters. It doesn't feel like we're especially competent. It feels like we're lucky. There's a lot of dead ends in these games, where it feels like the investigation just gets stuck. Yeah, that's the draw, is the thing. It's this wacky crowd. Alright, at the very bottom... Do I think there's an F tier? Not really. F makes me like... F is a strong... Am I sure? Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, I'm pretty sure there's no. F makes me like... F is reserved for a character that I like truly despised. Not just in like a... like one that made me actually so mad. Don't go back and comb my lists and show me an F that's not that bad. People can change. My rules change constantly. There's no consistency to these lists. At the very bottom, there's gonna be this guy. How invested are we? Are we invested yet? I don't... Dogura? Is that his name? Dokura? Got a kind of raw name. It's one of those, right? Alright, I'm calling in. Everybody's still in. He's at the very bottom. And I'm about to change one. I'm already about to change one. And right above him is actually gonna be this guy. Now, do we see a trend forming? Do we see a trend forming? You can probably guess who's next if you see the trend, if you see the pattern. The next on the list is Mamoru, who was originally right here. But then he said something funny. He's making waves. He's slowly climbing the climb. I want to see where we ranked on the first one. And our last character in D rank is going to have to be... Just because he makes my skin crawl. He'd probably be C, but he makes my skin crawl. He truly evokes fear in me, like some sort of eldritch being. But that's points for him too. That's what's keeping him from the bottom, the content kinda. Yeah, I did summon him. I was really scared, Sis, when that happened. Because the music in the game and the tense atmosphere felt like it was in the room with me when he walked in. I felt like I was at the studio. He walked in and I like looked at my door to make sure he wasn't walking into my room. What's up? What was Dolly about? Good question. That sounds like a question for the wiki when this is all over. It could have just been some nonsense. Okay. Now to get to the interesting stuff, the C tier, because there's actually some interesting stuff in C tier. Believe it or not. I already don't like it though. This is fine. At the bottom of C, for being wonderful, is the Scotch nurse, because she's just there. She's not a character, but she's wonderful. She's not a D, and we can't give her anything higher than that because she wants this. So we can't let that happen. Yeah, I don't know. The Scotch nurse. That's it. There's not much to her. She's still a side character, much like these guys. And I think we're about to round out the totally side characters because the rest of these characters are all something. Every single one of them. And we're gonna put Shinpei, who I'm sure has climbed up the ranks. I'm sure this is a huge gain for him. I'm actually really curious to know. He fell off. He had something going for him at the start. He totally could have climbed. Hold on. Where was Shinpei on the previous list? Shinpei was in D tier, yeah. Him and the Scotch nurse climbed. That was a pretty funny bit. That was a funny bit. And it went on for far too long. He had me on the ropes. Amame was C tier in the first game for me. Probably because she was mermaid. She probably would have been D tier. But I was like, bones. Do I want to do this? I think I do want to do this. This one hurts. Ooh, Amame? C tier is kind of crazy. Who am I looking for? This one hurts. But as I said before, just because you were in the first game and I liked you doesn't mean anything for this list. And this character did nothing wrong. They just didn't need to be in the game. They were simply in the game for continuity, and that's fine. And that's totally fine. She was just there for continuity, and that's cool. Not a character in this game. That's Iris' mom, yeah. She maybe had like 3 lines of dialogue, and that's fine. And she still kind of stole the show in the finale go around. Yeah, that was a good moment. And that whole part told a story that I wanted to see confirmed, and it's that they're like all together in that household, and that makes me happy. I feel like that's what that scene was supposed to be, kind of. And next up... Yeah, exactly. And next up... This is a crazy one. It's not, though. It's honestly true. Sorry, dog, you didn't do it for me in the end. You didn't stick the landing. You didn't stick the landing. You didn't pull it off. So disappointed in you. Fell apart. I think Tara did have presence for a little while. But honestly, even like once he left the shadows, like even before, even like in that scene in the cathedral, I was like, they're just kind of a person. You shouldn't have revealed yourself. Why was he talking to Sosajima? Tara was at his coolest before we had anything to go off of, kind of. Cool mechanics, though, and great Somnium. I think I'm going to rank the Somniums after this, if we have a little time. If we don't, maybe I'll just post it. But that could be a quickie. Yo, this theme goes so hard, though. Cool character. Hasn't been put down yet. And next up, I think to round out the C tier, I actually had one other character in C, but I had to move them up. I like had to move them up. It didn't feel right putting them in C. So at the top of C is Riichi Chieda, because this guy didn't do much either. I was also disappointed in him. But I did like how he wrapped things up. He would actually be in D. He would be in D if that ending scene didn't happen. So good for you, Riichi Chieda. I can't believe I was gassing you up to be the second coming of Sosajima. I knew it would never happen. Except I wasn't gassing him up. Wasn't I calling him a fraud? I was saying he was trying to move in on his spot. That's what I was calling him out for trying to be him. And failing. And fail he did. You didn't stand up to him at all. Sosajima was in the game for 5 minutes and he's still down here. He's still down here. But I also think he's supposed to act as like a red herring character of sorts, where you're supposed to be like, there's more to this guy. He is definitely a better dad than Sosajima. He's like not even that bad of a guy. Which is, you know, nice in the end. I do like that. I liked that subversion of expectations. And I didn't see it coming. I thought he would be the awful guy that he seemed to be. But he really was just an overprotective guy. There was no ulterior motive. There was no like rich man who just wants to crush everybody around him. There was none of that really. So good for him for beating the allegations. Now at the bottom of B tier, this character was at the top of C tier. And I looked at it and I said, I can't do this to you. They looked at me and they said, Zebra, really? And I was like, no, I can't do that to you. But B, bottom of B is the best you're getting. And B is for Bloodbath. Because B is going to have a lot of weird ones for fans of the first game. And at the bottom of B, I'm putting MoMA. I had him here, and I was like, I can't. I couldn't do it to him. I really couldn't. But he doesn't need to be in this game. Well, yes, some of the Game 1 characters don't do anything this, and that's fine. I think every other Game 1 character had a part to play in this game. That MoMA didn't really have. He is hilarious, but he's also just here to be here. And that's fine. I love him still. He's my homie, and he looked raw on the back of the truck. He looked so raw on the back of the truck. He looked like a real honest-to-God sniper. But he doesn't, you know, he doesn't add much. He was there for you to pop off. That's what it is, and that's awesome. And I love that. Because he could have not been in the game. And that would have made me sad. But right above our guy. Now this one will hurt a lot of us. It's our girl. And she's still got it. She's still hilarious. She had so many good lines in this one. So, Sejima? Relax. This isn't going to be a repeat of the first one. Don't worry. She was... What was the little song she sang? That's her alert. That's locked in. That's like, no, I'm not even, like... Many jokes were made about the blank alert, but that is actually going to be her alert. Like, just be on the lookout. I'm just giving you that little crumb of content. The little song she sang in the Wink Sync. And next to Sejima. Who is only up here? Who's only up here because the Iris Somnium was peak. And that was hilarious for him. That was such amazing characterization for him. And also he was smoking a cigarette in his usual Sejima wave. He didn't have Sejima wave, he had Sejima smoke. And you cannot deny the pop-off when he showed up, which was right after the Wink Sync with her. That was a loaded, like, 30 minutes. So Sejima mentioned, I spent the first, like, 5 or 6 sessions of this game holding my breath. Waiting for the mention. Just even the name drop. That's all I wanted, and he was in the game. I didn't think he'd be in the game. He was supposed to have left. He was supposed to have skipped town. Why was he still in town? He didn't have to be in the game. And the biggest flex ever, the biggest, stupidest flex ever is at the end of the game when they're like, oh, and he might have been Uru's dad. That's awesome. So unnecessary. And he did, yes, he did show up at the final battle to cut down the Terror T, and he taught Mizuki swordsmanship over the time skip. How is that not B tier? He should be an A. Also, this is huge too. This is genuinely, tell me if this isn't the truth. In the scene where he's talking to Terror, when Terror comes to visit him, don't you get the vibe that he is like in power there? I felt like he was in control of that part. I don't even think that was my own cope. That was literally like, don't talk to my king. My king! I like Sosajima, guys. Did I cope myself into it? Yeah. Oh, Kyuta. I like this song. He does. And then next up, do I think this still? This one doesn't feel right. I'll throw it down, and honestly, for the first time in history, I will let you guys talk me out of it. For the first time in history, I will allow a chat appeal. Because thinking about it more, I think they could move up. I think I just put them here. I got Pewter next, but I actually really liked Pewter in this. Jokes aside. Well, that's different. That's totally different. Don't care about Pewter? I liked him in this. But he was also around less. He had less presence in the plot. So actually, I think this works. I think this works for him. Did name drop the gigantic. What did Pewter get? Pewter got that honor. Yeah, that's true, but also they don't really like let him be gay. Because he doesn't do anything. He did make a couple jokes. He knows Snake. I love that. I think they're in a relationship. That's my headcanon. Oh boy. All right, next one's huge, guys. Next one's huge. This one. The whole narrative of the first game was where Ota rank. And this is as high as I can give him in this game. He played his role perfectly. Make no mistake. And actually, I'm going to talk about him together with one other character. who I think I'm gonna put. At bottom of A. I had her at top of B actually, but I just moved her up. Because putting her right next to Ota doesn't feel right. These two actually played their role perfectly. And I think what they serve to do is to tether you. To tether you, the player, to the world, and to buy into the time skip. And that is their role. You have to have someone familiar, but you also have to have someone removed from the plot. But you can't do that with just Ota. So you have to have her too. You have to have Iris. I think they actually play a huge role in that illusion. And Iris got a somnium that she absolutely did not need to have, that Sosajima did not need to be in, but it was awesome and it was peak and it was for the fans. It had no bearing on the story at all, and I loved it. And Iris was like semi-present in the Ryuki route. She still felt like a side character, but she was always hanging with the Goyles. She was there a lot. And I think she had more presence than Ota. So I think it feels fair to put her in A and him in B. Yeah, exactly. No, they did it perfectly, I think. The illusion was well kept. I didn't catch on. There were a few things that I read about where I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I didn't notice this while I was playing. Apparently when they find Komeji's body the second time, Shoma says he spoke to him yesterday. Did I react to that at all? It's right there in the text, apparently. He says he spoke to his dad yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. That's funny. But yeah. Legacy cast. I think most of them played their roles just as well as they were supposed to, and that's fine. Nobody other than... Momo's a little underwhelming. Got that Komeji stuff before me? Oh, I see, yeah. No, I didn't figure any of this out. I felt very... What did we say? Along for the ride on this one? I was definitely along for the ride on this one. Yo, this song is awesome. You may notice a few more legacy characters on here. One crazy one. But the ride's gotta stop somewhere. He rules. I love him. I love Kotaro. And the reason is, like, much like his namesake, Kozakura, in Tales of Vesperia, he is a familiar presence and a warm presence. Whenever you see him at the scene of a crime, I feel like I'm at home, and I feel like I'm talking to an old friend. Whenever I ask him his name, it's like my fountain of youth. And he felt like a person in this one. I don't know why they didn't add much characterization to him compared to the first one. Like, it wasn't that much different, but he just felt like a guy that was around like the rest of us. He felt elevated. Big fan of this guy. And this next one I might have to change a little. I had Tokiko next, but I think I gotta move her up a little. That ending was pretty cool. All right. He made it into A tier. The goat. Extremely effective. Great villain. He was the best villain in the game to me until Tokiko today. He's so hateable. His Somnium is great. It is a great reintroduction to the game. It is a great showing of, like, what kind of crazy new mechanics you can come to expect. The whole, like, combining two jobs or whatever it was, I thought that was so cool. No, him dying early is what makes him so cool, because he maintains presence throughout the whole game in spite of that. Up until the bitter end. You don't see that guy after hour like 3 of the game alive. And yet you still remember him throughout the whole thing. He keeps coming up. You keep finding out some new sick, twisted thing about him, and it's like, wow, this guy was despicable. And look at him. Look at him. He's the antithesis of him. He's the yin and the yang. Jakar was great. I never liked him. It was a bit. It was funny. He says happy, happy Chikara. And he does a weird spin. He does a DNA spiral and it goes, wow. He brought knives back into the plot. He landed. Crazy. How did he get her? How did he pull? Riz? You tell me. And next up. For me is I think my list is gonna upset a lot of people, actually. Just like the first one. Oh well. Next is... Does this feel right? Yeah. Next is Boss. I think I liked her overall better in the first game. She was around a lot in Ryuki Root, where she felt like an antagonist. She didn't feel like an antagonist, but you know, she felt like an opposing force. And yes, I was about to touch upon that. There's an unexplained bit where she calls the cops on Mizuki and Gen. That seems strange. It is funny when Ryuki's in trouble. That whole scene was funny. And that was one of my favorite moments of the playthrough too. And yeah, the daughter thing is cool. I like that she raised BB. I like BB. But yeah, no, she's lacking in presence. She disappears almost entirely on the Mizuki route. Which again, I think is a symptom of things suffering for the meta plot. Yeah, I mean, I would get that, but they framed it. It said she called them in to take in 2 monsters. Or something along those lines, which seems a little malicious. It's strange. Because remember in the first game, you're kind of supposed to be sus of boss, but that's because there's a whole body swapping conspiracy going on. In this one, it's her. So it's like, huh? But maybe if there's a 3rd game, we might know more about that. I don't know. Maybe if there's a 3rd game. Alright, here's where I think it does get controversial for real, though. Because next, there are 2 characters I'm about to put down that I can imagine are probably beloved. I mean, they're still an A. They're still at the top of A, but they might not place as high as you think they might. I think they could be contenders for S on some people's lists. Next is Kizzy. And my thing with her is that I do like her a lot. But something that really holds her back is that she's half of a hole. She is too reliant on Leon existing in the whole second half of the game. Which, hold on. I know he's a caretaker. I don't mean it like that. I mean her entire character arc is reliant on him. And she doesn't feel independent enough to me. And I think that drags her down a little. But I think she's adorable. And she broke my heart when I saw her in that wheelchair. And I like the song. Yeah, she's glued to his side, kind of. No, Kizzy, my prince. Yeah, and that's totally a post-time skip thing, Nav, which is too bad, because that's where most of the game is, kind of, and most of their plot. She also wasn't as important as I thought she would be. That's not like a bad or good thing. I just had the wrong read. I thought she'd be bigger to the actual plot, but it was really just a love story between these 2. That's the other thing too. Leon ends up like stealing the show from her, which I think is funny because the game, like, she gets the song, so, and very early on too. So you think, just based on how like prolific Iris was in the first one, I think you're meant to be like, oh, she's gonna be like the big character in this one. And Leon is a creep at first, but he comes out on top. How on top? We'll see. I hate this zebra guy. And the other character in a very similar role, but not as bad. Because I think they're a lot more compelling, but they suffer this same issue of being very reliant on another character. Is Gen, who I think does not get enough time on his own. Everything is about Amame. And that makes me sad, because his story is very compelling. Everybody's out? Alright, well. I knew this, like, at the top of A here could be a tough part. We would have had him top 6. Wow, that's crazy. No, I like him. There's something there. I just don't know that he, like, completes it or sticks the landing. Top of A, what do you mean all of the characters are all S? I already explained what S means to me. His ending with him and Amame was probably the second emotional high point of the game for me. Komeji was the emotional high point. But that ending that broke my heart. That was very well written. I definitely looked up. I forget what I looked up. I think I just looked up something about Amame, and I ended up like reading like. I think the general opinion is that they don't like that they end up together, because I think they're established as like almost like a father-daughter dynamic, which I can get being turned off by that, but I don't think that's like, I don't know, law. I think it's fine. But we also don't know how old he is, so I guess it could be weird. But I always got the vibe that they were peers. So that doesn't, like, sour it for me. Yeah. That's the thing. I don't think there's a right way or wrong way to interpret that. But for me, it wasn't. I didn't find it weird. I think it worked fine. But I also get like being like, oh, boring. They went the romance route, which I totally get that. I think that can be boring when things that don't seem like romance become romance, and it's like that feels like a cop-out. But I think that landed for me. Because it was very, as Nitram says, very Beauty and the Beast coded. And that is intentional, because there's like a big fairy tale overarching element to this, you know, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast. Was there another? I don't know. And I do love their relationship. I like how they like quizzes together. But I think he relied on her more than she relied on him as a character. And that's why she beats him out for me. But I think he had a lot of potential to be even more. And I do like him a lot. And the Ota rivalry is really funny. Who is next for me? I don't think it's Tokiko yet. Yeah, I would have loved more of that. Of the boys. The boys are awesome. They kept adding like friends of Date, and I was like, this is awesome. Yeah, I mean, it felt like she was missing something, and now she feels complete. She's not getting out of A. She's still staying here in A. I think there's one more character I can put, though. And it's Mama. However, I love Mama in this game. I had Mama and S on one draft. But S is feeling a little too bloated. Mama and the Big Twist is funny. I think Mama was a lot funnier in this game. And felt more useful as the informant, which is her role. And it was a really funny, like, almost take the piss element of it. Where she was like, I'm a fortune teller now, and she just has knowledge. She needed that. And the humor landed more for me in this one, too. I think it's because she had props. She had two balls right in front of her. Yeah. Mizuki will never get a drink. My two milky balls. Alright, now I think we put Tokiko. I'm going to do it. Not from this game. Not a line Mama says. Mama left the simulation before Tokiko. Mama is in P3 right now. And in Tales of Vesperia. I'm out again? Did you redo your list? No kidding. That's okay. I don't want anyone to feel stupid for their lists. Because, not that you would anyway. It's a pointless game that wins nothing, but this one especially, because it's a mess. Once we get to the top, I want to talk about why it's a mess. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. She came together today. I like a villain who knows what they're doing and feels powerful. And last week it felt weird because I was like, what was the point of any of this? But today it all makes sense. I feel very confident in my Date placing. She cooked, she won. She added such a cool element to this game. She was in your head like Pixel. She is nice also. That's huge. Cool design. Cool performance. Dealt such an awful hand. And she was creepy. But also, in much the same way that Chikara is the cause of all of this, in like a cool, like, mad scientist way, she's like the cold side to that, where she's also like the driving force of a lot of it. She's almost like the positive motivation of the villains, and he's like the hatred. I had Chikara above her before today. Given what happened today, if there is a third game, maybe we would see more of her too. If you think about it, she kind of cooked her Evil X, which is for... Yeah, she beat him. Get on, guy. We could see more of her, maybe. I don't know. That would be cool. I don't know what I would want her to do. I'm also happy with this just being it for her. She made it out. She won. But I think she opens up the door for crazy stuff if there's a third game. Please be a third game. Guys, I'm coping. I really want a third game. It seems like the way. She is a baddie. Isn't she like 40 something? She's still got it. Yeah, but a third eye? I don't know. She can do that, and I still want to learn how to do it. And it was really funny how the meta narrative of this playthrough of Pixel being like down awful. Oh, so in Tokiko. Tokiso will be the ultimate villain. I think we're moving into S. Yo, theme? For his placement? No. Because he's not next. Psych. Gotcha. Shouldn't have fell for that. Next is... I don't fucking know. One day late. Snag a guitar. Make it happen. Yeah, this feels right. I'm on me. What to say about her? I like how quirky she is.
Blow those boys away!
Amame doi. They made her a character, isn't that cool? I think that's really cool. I think it's very cool that they took a side character from the first game and they were like, what if she was not just a character, but at the forefront of the game? It really brought the world to life, I think. And who will it be in the next game? No, it can't be her. She's not allowed. It'll probably be this guy. It'll probably be this guy somehow. Don't think she's fun. Don't like how staring blankly and necessary there. Don't really like the terror reveal. I agree on the third one. But I think she's fun in this. I mean, she does spend a lot of time being kind of melodramatic. But I think her personality's cool. I think she has the same kind of like hook that Iris has with her Somnium, where you're like, here we go, dark and disturbed, what's going on? But I don't think it works as well, but we already talked about that. The whole last part does fall apart. I'll give you that. But I enjoyed her. I enjoyed her relationship with the cast. I love the Komeiji family. I love imagining these three around a table with a silhouette of a woman. I think her final Somnium, again, even though the reveal fell a little flat for me, the presentation of it was cool. I really liked that last Somnium. And how it reframed the original one. I think that was a cool, like, revisit. Oh, really? No, I definitely recognize the questions. I think that was very cool. And I did think the quiz show was really cool. I really liked that Somnium, actually. I mean, we'll see when I tier them. But I think I really liked that one. Was it just because Komeiji was the host? It could be because of that. It could be because Komeiji was the host. And he was like, which is worse? Killing the father or killing the mother? That part was cool. That part was raw. And I think the twist that she is Komeiji's daughter is awesome. Because like you guys in chat said when it happened, it was all kind of right there and I just didn't pick up on it. But I love something like that, where it is all right there and you just don't, you don't pick up on it, and it all makes sense in hindsight. I love doing Komeiji. Yeah, it's cool. If there's a third one, she'll probably be out of jail by then because she did nothing wrong. But I hope she doesn't do anything more than be a mermaid again. Shelba. I hope if she does come back, she's just a mermaid again and you can look at her bones. She does, apparently. That's what the expert told me. An expert told me that she has pretty good bones. Who's next? Who's even in here? Well, okay. Yeah, I think I know who's next. Do I? Oh, Steiner, do I think this? This sucks. Well, this is one of the toughest ones to place. And I think that gives away something. Because they're so hard to... I'm putting BB next. What do I attribute to her? Just the ending? It's so hard to like reconcile in my mind that I was playing as her for half the game. I really attribute that to Mizuki. But that doesn't feel fair. No, I do like her. This is still good. Come on. Give me a break here. Which Mizuki is she? Well, I thought she was a brag, yes. Isaac, that's a great way of putting it. S is still good. Her name's BB. Yeah, honestly, the dynamic rules. I think she makes. You have the idea in your head, in the back of your mind, the whole game. That Mizuki is an experiment or a clone or whatever, which I think in the moment is a little disappointing. I didn't like that. Oh shoot, I'm revealing Mizuki details. I didn't like that in the moment. And so when BB shows up, I'm willing to accept it. I'm willing to accept. I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a clone. We already knew this. This is fine. And they feel like two sisters. They feel like the Wonder Twins. And I like it. Because it's two Mizukis. I mean, that's awesome. And her Somnium really does paint a good picture of her. Yeah, big sis. Big sis. And she feels like, literally it feels like Mizuki, the cooler Mizuki. You know, like she's just like the edgy Mizuki kind of. And I think she's fun. I think the thing about her that doesn't do it as much for me is like I saw it coming a million miles away, and I think you're supposed to. I think the subversion is that you're not supposed to realize you were her. I think you are supposed to figure out that it was Mizuki under there, but it is still just Mizuki, and Mizuki has to be ranked as Mizuki, and BB has to be ranked as BB, but Mizuki is BB and BB Mizuki, and she calls her BB when she was a baby, and I think that's so cute. I like saying BB. Here's where it gets hard, folks. How many times have I said that? This is where it gets hard. We gotta put down 2 more, and then we're in the top 6, right? If you can get the spread of characters in top 6, even if they're not in order, I might consider recognizing you. That's crazy. Mizuki BB Marco. Mizuki BB Marco. Naretama Aiba. That was supposed to be Aiba. Naretama Aiba. Date replaces both of his eyes. Next for me is gonna be... Yeah, this one's awesome. I want to cry. Uh, Can I quit? Am I allowed to walk away from this? I think next is... You made all of us suffer. Okay. I think next is... I'm going with my gut. Next is Tama. Ooh, woo, boo, boo. Who I did enjoy. I think I just enjoyed these other characters more. Will is out? Dang. I enjoyed her, but I thought about the Somnium Files Iba, and I thought she didn't hit that level of godhood. She didn't eat of the fruit of the tree of she. But that's not to say I didn't enjoy her. I think she has a great dynamic with Ryuki. I love that they subverted or, you know, switched the roles kind of. Of the human being the straight man and the eyeball being the unhinged one. And they still managed to have that wonderful dynamic of caring for each other in their own insane ways. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. I was thinking about that at one point too, where towards the end, when he's in the cathedral there, and you know they finally confront Ryuki, I was like, dang, Tama's been with him through all of this, which is nice. They do have something, and I think I can talk about it more when I get to Ryuki. But sometimes, and to be fair, maybe this is a double standard, because you know I love this man. Sometimes the humor was a little much for me. Maybe I just want the eyeball to keep me down. I think that's what it is. She's great, though. I would like to talk more about Tama, Ryuki, Mizuki, and Aiba once I've put them all down. I don't want to give anything away before I have them all on the list. And speaking of which, next up is none of those three. Oh, this puts us in top 6, doesn't it? Oh, this is a huge reveal then. At the top of S, or the top of this part of S, it's all S. This is all, top 6 is also S. But at the top of regular S, that is pretty funny, Snack. God, I wish that were me. I think I remember that. Also, being forced to rush through the Somniums, in this one especially, probably took away from both of them. So maybe if I went back and saw all the funny dialogue, we'd have a different list, but gameplay got in the way. At the top of this one, I gotta give it to my bro, Shoma, who is a wonderful little lad, and I wish him the best. And of all the new non-core, well, I mean, he is kind of core. Out of all the new non-protagonists, the one I most want to see in a third game. I would love to see what he's up to. I think he could be the tech guy. I want him to be the new pewter. He's a good kid. I just wanted to get through to him. And he felt like he put me back in the place where I was in I1, where it went from fatherhood year to brotherhood year. I just wanted to be there for him. Have someone to talk to. What's got you down? And he was a compelling sense of mystery throughout a lot of the game. The whole aging thing, he makes the illusion work once again. He's the opposite of, Ota and Iris. There's friction between the existence of these characters in the illusion, which I think is cool. And he almost seems like an antagonist at one point where I was like, please God, no. Which I think is cool. And of course, who can forget the Shoma Somnium, which was the Mayumi one of this game. And absolutely brought it home. That was the emotional high point of this game. And I think that was the last stream of 2023. Meaning that stream was the end of Fatherhood Year. And I cannot think of a more fitting way to wrap that up. Like, that's rag cinema. Like, you can't plan that kind of thing. To blow up the virus. Oh. Alright, gamers, we're in the top 6. Oh, also, he made a little... Oh, I can talk about that when I get to Comedian. He made a little medallion for him. That kind of thing breaks me. When a little kid makes a thing and the parent treasures it, that breaks me. That is instantly... That goes to my heart immediately. When they make a little arts and crafts thing... I love a little arts and crafts thing. And seeing it get ripped in the eye. He thought his dad was funny and cool. You're bringing me back. Alright, we're almost done. Anchor point. I don't want to go into Scissors time again. This is wrong. This is our last stream before I go away, guys. Forever. Not forever. We're in the top 6, guys, and this has had me up at night. And I think next for me... I'm gonna tell a story once I place this character, because another character was in this spot originally. But I'm gonna put Leon. I can't tell the story till I place the other character. But I'm scared to tell the story. Oh, singer, she singer, singer. She singer, sing, singer. Song, sing, she singer, sing. Leon. Who would have thought with an intro like that, he would make top 6? This, Zebra knows how to choose him. Zebra knows how to recognize him. He knows when there's gonna be a king in one of these. He was right with Moma. And Leon is the Moma of this game. He starts out as a stalker, weirdo, proposing to like a high school girl immediately. Well, yeah, she was a high school girl. Yeah. How old was he? Oh, it's even weirder actually. How old was he? He was bad at first. He was dangerous. He was a risky character. He was 16. And he evolves into the greatest king to ever do it, kind of. That's so superlative. You can just say anything. Hey man, what did she say? I looked for the lyrics to the song and I couldn't find them. 22 and 18? Oh, okay. That's not as bad as I thought. I also didn't realize, I thought she was like 16 or something. I like how he's a Keyblade. He was one of the first characters I latched onto in a funny way. Brotherhood year. Brotherhood year. That was the through line of this one. Brotherhood year. Plot could not have been solved without him. He opened so many doors for us. How many times was there a locked door? It was almost comical. Where they were like, I know one guy who can help with this. I guess I know one guy who could open a lock for me. There was a door with 8 locks. It was made for him. It was literally the Leon door. Terror was like, God, I hope there isn't a guy who can open any lock in the world around this city. He almost has like an almost too perfect dedication to this woman. And in a totally selfless way, and I love it. And I think a very adorable... Yeah, no, his Somnium did so much for him when he was already on the rise. He started over, and he looks like... You totally think like he could be just like some sleazebag. No, he was making an honest effort every step of the way. He started over. Yeah, he did everything in the book. He just wanted to live an honest life. And I think an adorable aspect to his character is that he, did he want to be a pilot, was it? Who wanted to be a pilot? Is that real? He wanted to fly, right? Is this... Or was that her that wanted to fly? Who wanted to fly? He wanted to fly. He got to pilot her, that's what it was. Yeah, he did. Hell yeah. He got to help her fly. And he flies into Somnium, yeah. And I think that's cute. She's the plane, and he's the pilot. And him picking her up and helping her dance at the end was number 3 emotional moment in the game for me. That was like nice emotional, you know? I think that's so sweet. That's the sweetest thing ever. And he's Date's friend. What a funny aspect of him. He's one of Date's random homies from around town. One of his drinking buddies. Yo, raw! Okay, this is the one that the angry mob will come after me for. And this is the character I've wanted to talk about the most in a way that may surprise some. Negative. And don't take that too harshly. All I want to say is, Toxic's still good, yeah. They didn't hit quite the same. They didn't hit quite the same in this one. That's all. That's all I'm saying. She didn't hit quite the same. And I blame that on the dynamic. 5th from the top. Her and Mizuki don't work enough, I don't think. She's in the game because she had to be. I think Mizuki needed a new partner or something. Which is why, if there is a 3rd game, Marco, it's your time to shine. Aiba was written with Date in mind, and that is correct. They kind of had a little something going on. She almost felt like Mizuki's aunt. That's how I would put it. That was the dynamic I got. You didn't feel like her mom, she felt like her auntie. Yes, exactly. They're not really as much of a duo. They're just 2 10s that don't necessarily make a 20. It works, they just don't have the banter quite like Date and Aiba did. Or even, I think Ryuki and Tama were better too. It's peak. Pewter eye, that's raw. I'm in. A wall clock. She didn't say it. She does say a large chocolate chip cookie though, which is strong. I had her before. I had her under Leon. But Zero Escape put her here. 999 put her here. Are you surprised at who's left? Because I was. But I thought about it. I thought about it quite a bit. I hated allowing him that power. about swapped in perspective. Interesting. I have a lot to say about him when we get to him, both positive and negative. I have a lot of grievances to air. About both protagonists. I think next we can put our guy down. What song is this? Kita. And our guy is Andes Komeji. No, I'm lying. No. April 1st was yesterday. He rules. He's the top 4. It's not that bad. You can't win. I feel like I've already talked about him through all of these other characters. He has such an influence on this cast. It's actually crazy. The game started and I was like, I saw a cubed man and I was like, yeah. I didn't question it. I was just like, all right, there he is. Andes Komeji. And I didn't think he would be like huge or anything. I thought he would just be another NPC. I thought he would be like the... I don't know. Who's the first game guy? Like the... I didn't think he'd be a big deal. Is what I'm trying to say. I didn't think he'd be huge. This man has an insane ripple effect on the story. Not Chimpei though. No, Chimpei's like a background guy. Like a supporting guy, but not important to the overarching plot. I love him so much. He makes me cry. He's such a lovable, cute man. I love the Komeji family. I have an emote of him. It's all cope. Nobody was right. Nobody was wrong. I like doing his voice. The Komeji family. It's a stage name. Get out of here. Do we think Will hate him? I will genuinely... I'll get mad at him. I'll butt heads with him over it. Gladly. Well, if you're watching this, in the end, you did play the Mega Drive. Yo, rah! Hi, Will. If you're watching this, thanks for watching this. I hope you enjoyed the game. I said a lot about him already, though, so I don't even know if I need to explain myself very much. Alright, guys. Alright. The big 3. Is this boring? I don't care. I really do feel this way. I almost want to... I think next is Ryuki. But I want to talk about him more than I want to talk about the next character. So I think I'm going to place the next character too, which tells us the number one. I'm just going to place them all. Okay, we're talking about Date first. We're talking about Date first. He delivers. He maintains his presence fully. He feels like the protagonist of the first game is in a game where he's not the protagonist. He steals the show in every scene he's in, except the final battle, which is good because he should not be stealing that scene. But every other scene he's in, he steals the scene. And having this despicable man in a mentor role rules. I love his relationship with both of these protagonists. In fact, he is like kind of missing the Mizuki relationship in this, which makes me very sad. They did not have enough screen time together. But neither did these two, and the dynamic, I think, is awesome. I love it. Brotherhood year. Fatherhood discarded. Part 4 Jotaro, that's a great way of putting him. I like that. Date breaking Terror's watch in the middle. Raw. Oh no. Date is hell. What they did with him is perfect. I don't care that it's like a silly... I mean, it's obviously they just wanted to go with the original character design. Obviously. They were like, we cooked with this. Let's make up a stupid reason for him to still look like this. And it was so stupid. But that's fine, because this is peak character design. I do like the other one a lot, too. But I like this one. And they had to get Greg Chun back. Yeah, so I don't have too much more to say about Date other than he still remained up on top. He still delivered for me. Every scene with him in it, I was giddy like a schoolgirl. And I love this man. Truly, I'm in love with this man. He's the best. These two, I almost want to talk about them together. I think this game and the way the story was told. Now, they're at the top here, of course, but this game really hurt them. I don't know. I don't think the plot let them thrive at all, either of them. I just like the idea of them, and that's why they're up here. I enjoyed what we got of them. DoorDash, yeah. That was born off stream, kind of. Not totally. But that was definitely like in a call. That's where that was like fleshed out. Oh, please be a third game. My wish for a third game, guys. It was sort of. That was just Date being neglectful. That was the bit of the first game. He was neglectful. But the idea that he's got every meal as like off of DoorDash came like between playthroughs. We definitely did that in a call once. I think Rinslet was browsing DoorDash and we were just riffing on Date browsing DoorDash. That was the joke. Because it was like right after that. I want to talk about Ryuki. I don't think it's like probably a super popular opinion. I actually really liked him, and in theory, I liked him more than this Mizuki. Not Game 1 Mizuki, but this Mizuki. But she got more of the spotlight and therefore lands better. But I think he is the most interesting character in this game that is just wasted, kind of. He starts out, I mean, he seems like a boring guy, and I was worried he was going to be a boring guy. But once they start fleshing out the character a bit, I like see what was cooking. And I'm super disappointed that he did not get like a proper spotlight moment in the finale. I think you should have taken control of him. I think my vision is, I think he should have been the one to sync with Amame the second time and solve that case, kind of. I think it should have been for him to solve the case, and then I think the final battle could have played out the same. Because that's more Mizuki's thing, is fighting or whatever. And I think that could have landed a lot better. But instead his role is to seem like another side character, kind of. In that moment, he seems like the head of the side characters, which is not what he should have seemed like. Ryuki's where Leon is, and Tama. Yep. No, I was very disappointed. I really enjoyed him. I enjoyed playing as him. I think I was having more fun with the... I had more fun bouncing off the game when we were Ryuki. I think I was having more fun just playing as a new guy. And my wish for a third game is actually that we get to play as him, and just maybe not just him, but that he gets a spotlight, kind of. I would actually prefer if Mizuki BB is more like a... I want them to be present, but Mizuki didn't convince me enough. But she's at the top. Why is that? I don't know, because she's Mizuki. She's still really enjoyable. Like, the blueprint is there. She makes for a good lead. She did better than, Did she do better than I thought she would? I was a little iffy about it. I was like, can she do it? Can she carry a game? I think she did. She did a good job in the lead. Once again, hurt by the twist. She really didn't do much in the grand scheme of the case. What did she discover? Did she do anything in the canon timeline, if you think about it? I don't think she had much of a role in the case in the canon timeline. Because BB did all the cool discoveries. Does anyone do anything? I would say so. Like, Ryuki actually made progress in the case. Especially once it's all laid out linearly. And then BB and Date are the ones who actually solved it. Which is regrettable. But my wish for a third game, I want to see Ryuki get his dub, personally. I don't think we need a new pro tag again. That's cluttered. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. That's all, again. Hurt by the meta twist. The meta twist itself was awesome, and I stand by that, and I loved it, and it was my favorite moment of the playthrough, and my favorite moment of the game. But it hurt the rest. You do have to cut some of the side characters, and I think that's fine. I don't think most of the new characters in this game need to be in it. in any capacity other than like the way Ota and Iris were. You know, you can visit Brahmin and say hi again, but I don't think he needs to be in the plot. I don't think Kizzy and Leon need to even be there. They eloped. I do want to see Shoma. And I do... Iris and Ota need to be there too. I think Mama needs to be there. And I do think she needs to be there. But I don't think Hitomi needs to be there. I don't think any of these guys need to be there, but they should have a couple of them. I don't think they need all of them. And Sosajima should absolutely be mentioned. Oh, and you have to be here. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, a third game, it'd be hard to juggle a lot. I think once again, Date doesn't need to be playable. That's fine. They should save him. He should be playable in like the finale. I think. I would like that. But I think, well, that would take away from... Make it happen. Figure it out. I'm asking the world. The thing is, though, really we need to see Abe with Date again. I think that... I can't see Mizuki Abe again. I don't think it works. I think Marco is the answer. Hey, that's it though. I hope this isn't the end. I hope this isn't the last time we touch upon these games on here. Make a third one. I'll play that day one. I'll give it like a week so some of you guys can play it. Top 3? What? On the left. Top 3 on the left. Are you talking about... Are you talking about Mo, Komeiji, Kazuichi? Rank them? Rank the monster trio with Komeiji at the top. And then I think probably Kazuichi Mo. Am I ranking our versions of them? Because then you're telling me to rank our friends. Ranking the characters, Komeiji, Kazuichi, Mo. Yeah, I'm sure Isaac will beat me in the race if I give them a week. Mo is a Sanji and Sanji is Ra. I was watching a character analysis of Sanji today by Totally Not Mark and I was grinning from ear to ear. I was like, let's go, Mark. You understand him. It's really good. I recommend it. I'm halfway through the video. I'm going to finish it. I like Sanji. Yeah, we're done. I was going to rank the Somniums, but I'll just do that on my own and post it in Discord. Isaac Snack Guides. The two naps, and when I ask for a yes or no, they go :D. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Hold on. Can we go back to... Just to end this off. Oh god, what the heck? This is also one of my favorite face cams I ever made. Let's just watch the finale again to end it off. I got nothing else. Oh, also, guys, is it Iris saying you and I are half of a whole? Because that's my headcanon. How the heck? You hear her? Headcanon. Is it the Mizukis? That's a little more boring. I like it. I just wanted it to be Iris. I'll see you for the third game. I hope. Go watch Sid's. Also, I won't be back. I'll see you guys in 3 weeks. That's my sign off. Enjoy my absence. Oh God, it's going again. Oh God, oh God. Hey. You and I have a whole... Bye.
Where can I find you? How do I remind you of the dream we shared?
Enough of that.